discussing functions, okay? Is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So today we will see functions in Python. In the earlier class, we saw the basic features of Python, why Python is important, okay, where Python can be used and how to install or where you can execute your Python programs. Then we also discuss the identifiers and data types, okay. And in today's, I think, or just an hour before, I have sent you the PPT of the previous class, okay, for Python. What are the things we discussed in the previous class? So you can see and refer to that. And I have also sent some video links, okay, how you can execute. As I said, Python has many editors, compilers, okay, interpreters where you can execute your program. So that I leave up to you. Which one for you? If you have a good internet connectivity, you can go in the online platform, which I use. I use Colab, which is very easy. I find it very easy. And then the best part of Colab is, like as I said, I don't need to install any compiler or interpreter in my stuff. Yeah, my voice is low. Now, now
No, ma'am.
it's still low.
No, ma'am.
It's fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it fine? Okay, because I'm using a new headphone. That's why it's a new one. Hello, is it fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I've sent you a video link, so that will help you. Like I said, if you have good internet connectivity, okay. I'm not talking about internet in your mobile phone, okay. I'm talking of the internet Wi-Fi, because you'll be working on the server, online server, and then many thousands of people will be working on the same server. So you need to have a good internet connectivity, okay. And then if you do not have that, okay, if you want to work offline, then there are various compilers or interpreters which you can download, okay, and install it off. Get it from a proper link, and then you install it, and then the videos, the materials available will help you to guide you to how to go about, okay, how to start with your program. It's very simple. Everything is available on the YouTube, okay. So today we'll start with the functions. Like in all the programming languages, functions are always there, okay? And you know the importance of functions. We have already discussed so many times, isn't it? It is a small segment of programming which performs a specific task, okay? And why functions is required? So that multiple codes, you need not repeat the same lines of code again and again, and then you can simplify your program and dividing into simple functions rather than writing a very long program, okay. And functions can be called multiple times if the same lines of codes are required again and again, just with the different parameters, then same lines of code can be used, so repetition of the code will be avoided, okay. So this is the reason why you'll get functions in all the programming languages, okay. The main features, syntax remain same, but few here and there differences will be there, okay. So you need to, like, remember few things, okay. Function, you can define functions to provide the required functionality, okay. Here are simple rules to define a function in Python, okay. So the keyword used is def for the definition of a function, if you want to define a new user defined function, okay. And as I said, the Python has huge library files, okay. That is, it has a huge number of built-in functions, okay. So that is the one of the feature of Python, which because of that, it has gained importance. But then if required, you can also use your create your own user defined function. If you are coding yourself, if you do not want to use the built-in function, because that does not require fulfill your requirement. Then you have to write your own lines of code. Then you can define your own functions. Okay. So function blocks begin with the keyword def definition, followed by the function name and parenthesis. Okay. Any input parameters or arguments should be placed within these parentheses. You can also define parameters inside this parenthesis, similar to the other programming languages. The first statement of a function can be an optional statement, the documentation string of a function, or doc string. Okay. You may include doc string or you may not include it. It is the first, like, what is happening in the function, the documentation. It is called the documentation string. Okay. What are you adding, or are you displaying, or are you subtracting, are you doing any kind of you're executing something. Okay. So that gives the definition of your function, like, it explains what is happening in that. So that is the first statement of a function, which may or may not be included. But as I have said earlier also, documentation is very important in your programming. So make a habit of, like, writing codes, writing comments in your codes. The code block within every function starts with a colon and is indented. Okay. Now indentation is very, very important in Python. Like in our previous program, indentation, although indentation is important to segregate your function, the what do we say, the body part of the function. But in Python, it is a syntax. If you don't give indentation, if you try to remove it, then there comes an error. Okay. Now what is indentation meaning? Like, you write first lines of code, the header of the function. When you move on to the next line, you are not supposed to start from the same line. You have to leave some space. Okay. You need to give a space bar, a single space bar. Then you start writing. So that is the indentation. Okay. Now, if you are doing, now again, it depends on the compiler or interpreter, where in which particular platform you are working. Because as soon as you press enter, it goes to the new line, and then indentation is already done. Okay. By default, it happens. Then you start typing. Okay. One space bar, space is already given there. Okay. And sometimes, what happens when you delete some lines of code, it will go back to the starting of the cursor will move back to the extreme left hand side. So then you start writing code. Then, yeah, there are chances that it will not, that time it will not move automatically. Okay. So when you try to execute your program, sometimes it gives an error. So indentation error means you need not go to syntax error is different, runtime error is different. Now indentation error, there'll be some statement given there, so you have to go there to your function or to your program, any lines of code, which particular line the indentation error is given. So you just have to give space. Okay. Press the tab, the space bar, you enter the space bar and little space is given there, so that will correct your error. Okay. In the examples I'll show you. The statement return, okay, return and then expression exits a function, as you all know this. Optionally passing back an expression to the caller. You may have a return type, a return without any value, or return with value. Okay. A return statement with no arguments is same as return none. Okay. So this is the syntax. Def is a keyword. You give a proper valid function name. Okay. And then parameters. If you want to pass any parameters, then colon. So this is the first line, header of a function. Okay. Now this is, I'm talking about indentation. Can you see the space here? Okay. Like in other programming languages, you can start right below D. Okay. Right below D, you can start writing code. But in Python, you have to give a space. And this, most of the times, it happens by default. As soon as you press enter, your cursor will come little bit, a space will be given there, and you'll start typing from here. But as I said, suppose there was some error and then you try to delete the whole statement and cursor goes back here. And then you won't, if you don't notice that, and then you start typing from here, right from here. Okay. So if you, right below the D, if you start typing from here, then when you try to run the program, there'll be an error. Okay. Because, as I said, Python has no that compilation phase. Straight away you run the program. Okay. So at the runtime, it will give you error. So when there is an indentation error, so you have to see this space. Okay. This is called indentation. Okay. Like in C, C++, you give curly braces, isn't it? When you have multiple lines, okay? In Python, you give spaces here, okay? So this is function docstring, which is optional. As I said, this is your body of your function suit. It is called suit, multiple lines, and then at the end, return with expression or without anything. So by default, parameters have a positional behavior, and you need to inform them in the same order that they were defined. Okay, suppose you're passing multiple values, 10, 20, 30. So 10 will be the first, 20 will be second, 30 will be third. So you have to be specific with the position. Okay. The following function takes the string as input parameter and prints it. Define print me. Okay. So string, pass a string into the function prints. Okay, so this is just a small example. Let's see continuation of that. This is how you write. This is a function name. Okay, so in this function it is printing string str. Now what str holds? Okay, let's see further. Once the basic structure of a function is finalized, you can execute it by calling it from another function or directly from the Python prompt. Okay, so calling is the example. So this is the one we did, isn't it? This is how you write a function example. Okay, def is your keyword. Okay, definition. Print me, it's your function name which you have given, the coder has given. Str is the parameter, colon. Okay, this prints a parse string into the function. So this will not execute. Okay, this is just like a comment. It works as a comment kind. Okay, so what is happening inside this function? Docstring, that is called docstring. Okay, then print str. So whatever you pass in str in this particular function, that will be displayed. So let us see what it is passed now. Okay, now you can call print me function. So this print me function, and you pass the parameter. And first call to you, and then if you run this program, okay, the single statement you run it, output will be am first call to user defined function. This particular whole string, it will go to print me. Str contains this whole string, and then print str. So this is what it will display. Okay, and second time again you want to pass something, either you can execute at the same time or one by one. Okay, it will execute. This is how simple it is, your Python program. You write the program. Okay, you write the program, and then now the program is done. Now you call the function with a string. You pass the string here, just execute this statement, just this single line. The control will go here. Okay, and then it will execute. Clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
I hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So this is how simple it is. It is. You might be thinking this is two lines together. It can be together, okay, or else it can be a single executable statement. You write this line first and then you run. There'll be a play button here, okay, in the Colab where I'm working. Here a play button kind of thing comes here to run. Okay, so I just click on that, and then this will be the output in the next line. Okay, and then if you want to type again, then I can type this again. Okay, and then same function, and then there'll be a play button small here, and then I click that, and then the second line, or else together I can write and then execute. Okay, it is very simple. Every statement you can execute line by line. Okay, so now function, the parameters, either you can pass by value or pass by reference. I'm sure everybody knows about this concept, isn't it? Pass by references, you're passing the address of a variable. Okay, and then pass by value, you're passing the value. Okay, you're passing the value of that particular variable. Okay, now how it works in Python. All parameters, arguments in the Python language are passed by reference. Okay, it means if you change what a parameter refers to within a function, the change also reflects back in the calling function because you're passing the address. So wherever changes you make, it will reflect to the called function. Okay, so this is a simple program. Definition: change me is a function name. My list, my list is used. Okay, now see, my list, it's a variable name. Okay, and we have seen the data type. Okay, we have seen the different types of data types we have discussed. So in this particular program, my list name is given because list data type is used. Okay, so it's just a relation. If you're using tuple, so similar to tuple, you can make your own sentence. Okay, sorry, not sentence, identifier, a variable name. Okay, now what this function is doing, this changes a past list into this function. Okay, so inside this function, so my list is used as an object now. Dot, we are calling the append function. Remember in the previous example, when we discuss about updating the list, okay, when we discuss about updating the list, there I discussed the program where how the updation is done. Okay, so and then the alternative method is using built-in function append. So in this program, append is used. So I'm sure now you know how it works, isn't it? The append function, how updation is done in the list. Okay, so it appends. This is the append function. Print. Now after updating values inside the function my list. So this my list holds the value. Okay, so it will, whatever previous list it has will be updated to this. Okay, return. Now you can call change me function. Okay, so this is the definition part of the program. So this is your program. Okay, now you can my list equals to 10, 20, 30. Okay, so this is the values 10, 20, 30. Change me my list. Okay, so you are calling the function change me with the value my list. So my list holds 10, 20, 30. Okay, so after that, come to values outside the function. So as soon as you call this, okay, when you run this program, it will go to this, okay, my list, and then my list dot append, okay, so this function, values inside the function. This will be, because you are inside the change me function now, okay, values inside the function my list. So this is how will be the output, values inside the functions. Okay, so this has been updated, it has been added. Okay, it has been added in the list. Previous list was 10, 20, 30 was the list which was sent to my list. Okay, now after entering to change me function, this 1, 2, 3, 4 was added to it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 is added to it. Now the control will come to this, since it's written, it will come to the next line, print values outside the function. So values, now it is no more inside the function. Outside the function also the output is same. That means since you are passing by reference, so whatever changes you made inside the function will be reflected here also. Okay, that is what it means. The concept remains same. In the reference also, in C, C++, call by reference, you are sending a reference, that is your address to it. So you might be thinking, alright, there is no address being sent here. You have to see my list. When the function is called, values are not my list, the name of the variable is sent. So whenever you see the name of the variable, that is my list, it is always the reference you are sending. Okay, so this is how it works. Now same program, argument is being passed by reference and the reference is being overridden inside the function call. Okay, so this is one definition. Now we will see slight changes here. Definition, change my list. Okay, this is my list. This changes a past list into this function. Okay, so my list equals to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this would assign new reference in my list, values inside the function my list. Okay, and then now change my list equals to function this. Okay, now see the changes. The parameter my list is local to the function change me. Okay, see here, this one, local to the function change me. See, this my list equals to 1, 2, 3, 4. So this particular variable is local to this function. Okay. Changing mylist within the function does not affect mylist. That means this mylist we're talking about. Okay. The function accomplishes nothing, and finally they should produce the following. So what is the output? The output is different, isn't it? Values outside the function. Because my list here is declared globally. Okay. It is not inside any of the function. Okay. So change me, you're passing 10, 20, 30 to this one. Change me. Okay. But here my list already is there as a local function. Okay, it's declared. The variable is declared inside. So what is the value? 1, 2, 3. After this is given there. So this will be replaced by 1, 2, 3, 4. So values inside the function will be 1, 2, 3, 4. But only here the changes will reflect. Okay, only here because this is local to you. Now once you come out of this, okay, come out of it, okay, print values outside the function my list, this particular value, the changes will not reflect. So these are the minor things you have to remember. Okay, so now we come to function arguments. Okay, a function can be called by using the following types of formal arguments: required arguments, keyword arguments, default arguments, and variable length arguments. Arguments means parameters, okay, what you pass to the function. So the required argument are the arguments passed to a function in correct positional order. Here, the number of arguments in the function call should match exactly with the same definition. Okay. To call the function print me, you definitely need to pass one argument, otherwise it gives a syntax error as follows. Okay. So this is required. It is required. You have to pass because you have a str variable here, and this will receive a value. Excuse me. This will receive a value. Okay. And print str. Since you are not, and then you go to this and call. You're calling a function print me, but no arguments are passed. Okay. So that is the reason it will give error because string has not received anything and it has nothing to print. Okay. So now what will be the error? See. File test. This is a file name. Line 11 in module print me, type error print me takes exactly 1. So you have to see this is the hint of the error. Okay. So it will tell you, your compiler will tell you what kind of error it is. Takes exactly 1 argument. So you have to give an argument. So that's why it's called required argument. If you don't pass an argument, then it will give an error like this. Okay. So in this case, you have to pass a string. Okay. Got it? So this is one type. Now next is keyword arguments. Okay. Keyword arguments are related to the function calls. When you use keyword arguments in a function call, the caller identifies the arguments by the parameter name. Okay. This allows you to skip arguments or place them out of order because the Python interpreter is able to use the keywords provided to match the values with parentheses. Okay, so we'll see the example. The same example is used, print me, there is string str, okay, the function, and then print str. Now you can call function print me str equals to my string. Okay, so what are you passing? Straight away here itself, rather than writing 2 lines of statement, what is str equals to, okay, initial. In the very statement, you declare a string variable and pass the value. So this is called keyword argument. Okay, so this will go here. Okay, and then output will be my string. Okay. The following example gives more picture. Okay, now see one more example is given here. Note that the order of the parameters does not match. Okay, so definition, name and age. Okay, the print and then print name, print age written. Now you can call print information. Now see, in the required one, now see the difference here. In the required one, it said in required argument, you can have 1 or 2 more arguments. Okay, pass to a function in correct positional order. Okay. So here the number of arguments in the function call should match exactly with the function definition. So this print me and this print me, the order of the parameter should be same. Okay, it has to match. That is in required argument. Now see the difference in keyword argument. Note that the order of the parameters does not matter. Since you are passing the keyword, that is name and age, okay, you're not passing the values. You're passing the parameters. You're passing the keywords. These are called keywords in case of this. Okay, so it doesn't matter. Okay, age, yeah. Although the receiver name is first and age is second, but when you are calling the function print information, age is first and name is second. But since you are passing the value and the key, okay, in case of this, the variable are called key, okay, referred to as key. Since you are passing, so it does not matter. It will just go look for it, age, okay, age is 50, that is the integer value, and this is string name Mickey, it will go there, and then the output will be name and age. Although the sequence is same in this case, but when you're passing a value, when you're passing a parameter, the sequence is not same. But still, it will not matter, it will work. Okay, so what this is the advantage of passing key. Okay, key parameter. Now next is default argument. Okay, a default argument is an argument that assumes a default value if a value is not provided in the function call for that argument. The following example gives an idea on default argument. It prints default age. It is not passed. Okay, so this is the function definition, print information, name, comma, age. Age, it is given there 35. Okay, and name is not given there. Print of information, name and age. Now, what is the function called? Print information. Age is 50. Name is Mickey. Okay, so in the first time, 50 is in the first call, both values are given. Okay, so name Mickey will be there, age 35. Okay, first is 35, but you are passing 50, so obviously it will be replaced. Okay, so 50 will be displayed, age and name. Okay, now this is over. Now second time you call, okay, second time again you function call, just a name is given, age is not given. Okay, so only Mickey is given there. Since a value is given there, a value is already assigned there, so it will take a default value, Mickey. Okay, default argument print if it is not passed. Okay, so you can work out, you can practice all these short programs. This will help you, okay, in writing the program. Now next is variable length arguments. You may need to process a function for more arguments than you specified while defining the function. These arguments are called variable length arguments, are not named in the function definition, unlike required and default arguments. Okay, so here you have formal argument and then a star variable argument tuple is given there. Okay, so an asterisk is placed before the variable name that holds the values of all non-keyword variable arguments. This tuple remains empty if no additional arguments are specified during the function call. When you are not sure about the number of arguments. Okay, now got it. So we will see the example here. Okay, simple example, print definition, argument 1 and star variable C. In this case, tuple is used. Okay, so this is how it differentiates list, tuple, dictionary. You know, just to make it different, you can just use the word this with some prefix or postfix. Okay, so this prints a variable past arguments. Output is print one variable in variable tuple. Okay, now let's see the input. Input information 10. Okay, so we are first calling the function 10. Okay, so first only one value is passed. Okay, so argument arg for variable in one. So if when no other variables are just one, so it will display only one. In the second time, you're sending three values, okay, to this. So 1, 2, 3 values are sent. Okay, so how it works in a loop, in a for loop, it will go one by one. The argument will take variables one by first will be argument 1 will be 70, and then 60, and then 50 in var tuple. So this is how it works. That's how flexible your Python programs is. Okay, you can do so many things with the Python programs. When you have less data, also it works fine. When you have no more number of data, that also it has some features to it. Okay, you can always work out. So these are the new things I'm sure you're learning, isn't it? These things are not there in your previous programming languages. Okay, so you all can practice this, and then, as I said, I'll give you more examples. Okay, so you can practice, and then you can get a little bit of handy with the Python programming. Okay, so anomalous functions. Sorry. Okay. The function are called anomalous functions because they are not declared in the standard manner by using the definition keyword. You can use the lambda keyword to create some anomalous function. Okay, so now we will see this. This is also a very important feature of your Python. So lambda forms can take any number of arguments but return just one value in the form of an expression. They cannot contain commands or multiple expressions. So you have to remember these few things, okay? Lambda form can take any number of arguments but return just one value in the form of an expression. So they cannot take or contain commands or multiple expressions, okay? Generally, it is one line statement, okay? And an anomalous functions cannot be direct call to print because lambda requires an expression. Lambda function have their own local namespace and cannot access variables other than those in their parameter list and those in the global namespace. Okay. Although it appears that lambdas are a one-line version of a function, they are not equivalent to inline statements in C or C++, whose purpose is by passing function stack allocation during invocation. Or this kind of things you will see in C, C++ also, the expression which I'm talking about, but they are not the inline. They are not similar to the inline function statement which you see in C or C++. Okay. So we will see how the lambda works. So this is the expression. Lambda, then you have arguments, okay, n number of arguments, and then your expression. So what are you doing with that arguments, okay? Syntax. The syntax of a lambda function contains only a single statement, which is as the following. As I said, only a single statement. It says, lambda form can take any number of arguments, but return just one value in the form of expression. They cannot contain commands or multiple expressions. Okay, so always remember a lambda expression is a single statement expression. Okay, and this works in replacement of function. Okay, so you should know where to use this lambda function. Okay, like for example, in this case, sum of two numbers. Okay, sum of two numbers is a very short program, isn't it? So when you write in a function, it will be at least 2 to 3 lines. You definition part and you call the function, you give a name to it, okay, function name. So such simple programs can be written using lambda because you know that sum of n numbers will have n inputs and one output. That output is the sum. Okay, got it? Like for example, say multiplication, okay, addition, okay. So this is how it is written. Okay, it returns only one value. So you should have a value to receive that particular value, which is written by lambda. So lambda is a keyword. Okay, so this is the function definition. Okay, so lambda is a keyword. Actually, this is used for works as a function. Lambda, then argument 1, argument 2, because you're passing two values. Okay, colon. Okay, this is the the expression. Then what is the expression? You add numbers, argument 1 plus argument 2. So sum of this will be returned to this. Okay. Now you print the value. Print, again, these are two different lines. Okay. Print value of total, sum 10 and 20. First you pass this, run this program. Okay, it will go there, 30 output. Again, write another lines of code, print this, and the values are 20 and 20. Pass it here, sum is 40. Got it? Clear everyone, lambda? This is a bit tricky, but it's very important part of your Python. In Python program, you'll see in many of the places they use this lambda function. It doesn't look like a function from any angle, isn't it? Whenever we talk about function, we always think about a function name with two parentheses, the curved brackets. Okay, so this doesn't look like a function at all, but in Python this is called as anonymous function. Clear? Okay, so this, yeah, here I have clearly pointed out all the points. If it isn't clear, you can go through this again and again. Okay, 2-3 times. Okay, see, function cannot be a direct call to print because lambda requires an expression. Okay, you should always have an expression, and see the colon. You have the arguments, then colon, and this is your expression. Okay, this is one of a very important feature in Python. Okay. So now we move into the return statement. The statement return expression exits a function. As we all know that this is the end of the last statement of a function. Okay, optionally passing back an expression to the caller. A return statement with no arguments is same as an return none. Okay, all the above examples are not returning any value. You can return a value from a function as so. So all these examples we have seen earlier. Return. We're just returning the control to here. Okay, you're not returning any value. So this is what it means. All the previous examples, just return. Okay, so this is return with no value. Just the control is returned to the program. Okay, so we will see this example. Definition, sum, argument 1 same, the previous lambda 1, how it can be returned in a program. Add the parameters and return them. Total, argument 1, argument 2, print inside the function total, return total. Okay, total sum, outside the function total. So inside the function 30, outside the function 30. Okay, so here you add two values, print, and here you add two values, print. Okay, just trying to check whether the 30 will be, this print statement is just to check the value of total. Okay, so this is one of the return type, return with a parameter. What is the parameter? The parameter is the total, the sum of two numbers. Same, this lambda program, the single statement is written using the function. Okay, so you can see the difference. Got it? So this is the end of the function. Got it, everyone? So few new things you learned today, isn't it? Yes. Am I still online?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. When I don't get any response, I feel I'm disconnected. Okay. So this lambda functions we learned. Okay. And the type of arguments we learned. Okay. See, when you have multiple arguments, you can give length to it. Okay. Variable that is called variable length arguments. The default arguments. Okay. Keyword arguments, and then required arguments. All these are arguments, types of arguments in function call. Okay. So these are the function. These are the required arguments, keywords arguments, default arguments, and variable length arguments. Okay, and types of call by value and call by references. Okay, so these are the things in function. So now I'll give you some programs. Okay, so try and execute those simple programs in Python. Got it? Like how you did in what do you say, in PHP. Okay, so I'll give you a new list of programs. you might see, oh, ma'am is giving us so many programs, but don't see the size, don't see the number, 10 programs, 15 programs. Why so many programs, ma'am? It's not about the numbers. See how simple the programs are, just 2-line codes, 3-line codes, or sometimes they at the most 10 lines of code, not more than that, isn't it? But the main thing is if you practice more, you will get used to this different types of programming languages, okay, scripting languages. Fine. So since we know functions, okay, writing program, you know it, because little bit of syntax differences are there, and we saw the data types, and we saw the basic structure of your Python program, okay, how to display statement, how to give input to it, and how to pass values to the functions. We have seen those things. So now you can start writing simple programs. Okay, fine, everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So as soon as you complete your PHP programs, this week you'll be submitting your PHP programs, isn't it? So everyone, please complete your PHP programs, okay? Then I'll give you, because I don't want to again overlap with the existing programs which I've already given you. So complete your PHP program by this week. So then I'll give you your Python program, okay? This week you have 15, 16 is your second session. Next week, okay, I will not give you the dates. Any time, any next week, any one day we'll have your lab sessionals. Fine. Okay, we'll have a lab session and I'll give you a small website designing project. Okay, you have to have those who are not available today, or those who are not online today, please pass on the information that you should have minimum. I'll give you minimum number of static and dynamic pages, and then it should be interactive. Since you are learning Python, so I will not include Python. So for to design an interactive page, you can use JavaScript or Python. Okay. So a small website program will be given, and the same thing will not be given to everyone. It will be different. If one gets one type of web designing, another one will get another one. It will be different. Okay. So practice. That's why I am giving you time to complete your thing PHP programs. Okay. So Saturday you have your theory sessional, second sessional on PHP, and then next week it will be any time, any day, one day. It can be morning or in the evening, in the afternoon, any time of the day. I'll inform you at least 1 or 2 days earlier for your lab sessional. Okay, so it will be in JavaScript or PHP. Okay, I think on the first day of the class itself I had told you like your lab sessionals will be set of programs you are doing, that is fine. Okay, but in the sessional previous also I did same thing, because that will be more interesting for you. Okay, because I cannot do this website designing for your end-term exam, because end-term exam, like you have to do it in a proper. What if you are not able to do it? So you will lose marks, because that is of 70 marks. Okay, so your all programs what you are doing now, okay, all the program set of programs I'm giving you, that will be for your end-term exam. Okay, you'll get programs to write and execute like the traditional one which you have been doing in throughout the semesters. Okay, since it is web-based designing, so you have to do a web-based designing when you're learning the course. It's not that you have to do a web-based designing of like you should have this 10 number of pages and 15 very lot. No, basic simple. Okay, the transition of the page should be smooth. You should have a proper home page with all the bars, navigation bars. Okay, that is important. Fine with everyone. Any doubts?
Yes, ma'am. No doubts.
No doubts. Okay, fine. Okay, then thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Mm.
Thank you.